Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. In my last episode, we went to New Mexico to take a trash truck to a rather small drop point. And in full disclosure, I'm filming this immediately after the first episode, so we have not moved from that place since then. So we're gonna go in. We're gonna go in and find another load out from where we are. And I believe it's Holbrook, and it is. And we're going to find a load that's going to help us reach our goal of being able to upgrade our home terminal in Wichita, Kansas. So it looks like this Holbrook to Ogden, Utah is going to be a good load. And it's fairly high dollar load. It's got fragile symbol on it. It's standard delivery, and it is a high value. Now, these little icons here are going to multiply this base number. This base number is just what the load is worth to us at the moment. We've got an experience bonus, and then we've got bonuses for these little guys. Every time we level up, we get another little skill point, up to a certain point at which those become essentially useless to us. They're going to keep multiplying these payouts. So we're going to go ahead and set our GPS destination for that load. We're going to go pick up that load, and we are going to probably shut down for the night and head out on that load in the morning, depending on where we get. Why did it not set for my GPS? I thought it did. Depending on where we are on our sleep schedule. Oh, I think that's because we're right there. Yeah, we're right there. Okay. I didn't realize that's where we were. We just got to go over to this little icon. Come on, get in gear. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't realize we were I didn't realize we were already at the place we needed to pick this load up. So I wonder how messed up this pickup's going to be. So we'll go in and we'll pick it up. And when we do that, when we pick this up, we're going to go into our route planner, and we're going to find a place to park for the night. We're going to see if we can't make a few miles before we do that, but we're going to have to pick up the load before we get our routing solution here. And looks like it's going to be around the corner here. Yeah. It's right in behind that box trailer, or that dry van, so we're going to bend our truck around to meet it. And like I said in my last episode, I tend to not leave this view if I can avoid it. But when we're backing up, we're going to do what's called a get out and look. Nope, okay. Move over a little bit. We're going to do what's called a get out and look, which is essentially just me switching over to free cam and looking around. So you guys have probably seen that already if you've watched the first episode. And I'll be honest with you, that the maneuver that I did to get that trailer into that area that we just left. Oh yeah, we're gonna look at our routing solution here. I'll be honest with you, getting that trailer into the drop point we just left over here behind all that garbage that we were on, or that we had to deal with, that was impressive. I was not expecting it to go that smoothly. All right, so the routing solution wants us to take 191 north, but we are running on limited sleep or limited hours right now, so we may or may not be able to make it up here. It just depends. I think we should be able to, provided we don't get too much traffic. So let's go ahead and shoot for that, and then we'll shut down for the night and fill up the tank as well while we're there, just to say we did. I don't think we really need to worry too much about it. And we don't really have a good way to get out of here easily, so we're going to have to be real careful about doing this. Alright, and we're going to just go ahead and run this sign because... Oh, well, I guess we don't have to. Alright. I was afraid we were going to hit that K-rail, so it's like, okay, I just want to keep moving. So, we'll start our way out, and with any luck, we'll get to that rest stop and call it a day for this particular day. Get in there, thank you. Kept thinking I was going into reverse. So our ultimate goal is to upgrade the shop so that we can get another truck. This truck is fantastic for what it is, but I'm trying to turn it into a dedicated heavy hauler, hence its current appearance. In order to do that, I'm going to need to put an 18-speed transmission in it. Get in gear. It's not wanting to get in gear, that's alright. Or not wanting to speed up, so we're just going to bog it for a minute. But yeah, given it, hence its current appearance, I'm trying to turn it into a dedicated heavy hauler. But for that, I'm going to need to put a 18-speed transmission in, which is going to severely limit our top speed. Right now, we can do 75 to 80 mile an hour. But when we throw that 18 speed in, depending on what we get to up our capability for heavy haul, it's going to severely limit our top speed, and it won't be quite as conducive to highway driving as it is heavy hauling. But that's neither here nor there. I've kind of got my sights set on a Kenworth that you would pull out in front of me, wouldn't you? Now, can you get it moving? Probably not. I've kind of got my eyes set on a Kenworth, cab over Kenworth. I'm not quite sure the make model of it yet, but it's one of the mods that I've got in this game. And I've got a number of different mods. Most of them are trucks. I don't have any of the parts mods installed. They seem to keep crashing the game, but I think that's more computer side than anything. It doesn't quite have the processing power to do that, to load in all of those parts. But that said, the other mods that I've got are economy mods, which adjust the economy and experience and all that good stuff. I don't have those installed either because they were doing the same thing, and I got tired of having to restart this career mode. Hey, that was a good shift. I actually registered that time. Let's go ahead and set our cruise control and we'll just chill. But the only other mods that I've got besides the economy mods and the parts mods that I'm actually using them now, are weather mods to up the realism and graphics mods to make everything look a little better. Now, I would have preferred to have been able to have all the mods that I picked out installed, but you know, like I said, I think the computer's just not quite up to the task, which is fine. This is a damn good computer by my standards, and my standards date back to 1995. So when I say I've got a good computer, I've got a good computer for a guy that barely has enough money to get by. But yeah, one of the mods that I had on here was for a cab over P, which I would have liked to have had right up until the time that I drove it. And I can hear some of the professional drivers, if you guys are watching this, laughing about the cab over P's. I can hear you laughing about that. There were good trucks, but you know, I can hear you guys laughing. But probably not for the reason that I was laughing at it. The truck handled great. The truck ran great. And I was doing a quick job before I was able to buy this one. And then before I even had this particular career mode, because I had to restart it, and that was one of the mods that was crashing. The model was incomplete. It loaded in without a steering wheel. I mean, a typical steering wheel sits on a spline shaft that you know, it comes up out of the floor of the truck. And for that era of truck. And I don't know about you, but I can't steer a truck. I can't steer a wagon without some sort of handle to do so with. I mean, I thought that looked pretty funny. A guy going down the road at 75 mile an hour, with his hands wrapped around a skinny little rail, essentially trying to turn his great big giant truck. Now, we would have stopped here for the night, but there's no truck parking here. I think it's kind of more prototypical of something like that. You know, there would be no truck parking. It'd just be someplace you pull in and fill up and go on. So we're going to try and make it to that next stop, and that was about the halfway point between where we started and that stop, that rest stop. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully I don't run past it. So things like that are easy to miss, which is kind of why I rely on the GPS to tell me where my next turn is. But in real life, you know, that's kind of there as a redundancy. I rely on maps more than anything. See, when I was driving a truck, or when I was driving for any of the companies that I had, I was using a map, a GPS, and cell phone with Google Maps. All, you know, it was a triple redundancy. If the map didn't, if the paper map that I had didn't have something on it, the Google Maps would. If the GPS didn't have the route that I wanted, the I could program it into Google Maps. And eventually it got to the point where I was using almost exclusively Google Maps because my GPS was so outdated by that point that I actually couldn't do very much with it. We kind of come up on him a little hot, but oh well. Alright, so we'll just look both ways real quick. There shouldn't be anybody. Oh, I should have started off in low. Oh well. We're moving now. Yeah, a lot of the tools that I use were redundancies in terms of navigation. I don't rely on GPS for, exclusively for anything decent. It's a tool that I would prefer to use over a paper map simply for ease of use, but I would sooner trust the paper map to tell me where I can and can't go. Because Google will not tell you where you can take a semi. A trucker's GPS will only tell you so much. It won't tell you where certain things are, especially when you haven't updated in 5 or 6 years. Get in gear, good Lord. Downshift. There we go. Now we're gonna pick up some speed. Probably not exactly the best thing in the world given how tight this curve is. Got a tighter one coming up. So we should be able to make it to that little truck stop that we're en route to before things get dicey. But we'll find out. Get in there. Apparently I didn't have it high enough rev. I say we're gonna get there before things get dicey. We'll find out, won't we? Yeah, we'll be all right. There's our stop. Just showing up on the GPS now, so we're gonna get there. Hopefully we got some parking. It's only 1 o'clock in the morning. Christ, I thought that was part of the road. Okay. So we're actually going to try and pull in here and fill up. It's going to be interesting. No, we're not gonna get to fill up. Not right now. We gotta figure out how we're gonna do this. This is what I would call a gas station. This is not a truck stop. we can get in here. I don't think we can. We'll find out. I don't think we can get in here. Now, normally I would not drive in this view. I cannot stand being in this view. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and fill up here. We're gonna top off the tank, and I think we're gonna back out and try and go around a little bit. Unless I can get this squeezed through here, but I don't think I can. Alright. So I'm gonna keep it in this view right now, because this was not what I thought I was going to be dealing with. So we're going to try and back this out back onto the highway. And we're going to go around the other side and yeah, we're going to go back out on the other. We're going to go onto the other side and well, we're going to try to anyway. We're going to do something, by God, even if it's wrong. We'll get through here, one way or another. This is ridiculous. Now all the trucks in the world are coming through here. So, little things like this happen. Alright. So let's get this thing cranked around and go and get into that little quote-unquote sleeping area that they want. They want to call it a sleeping area. That is not a truck stop, man. That's a frickin' gas station. Pull up next to this guy and straighten our truck out. And wherever we end up is where we end up. I really don't care. And sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes there's little hole-in-the-wall places that... Alright. These little hole-in-the-wall places are just not very good for sleep for much of anything, in my opinion. So, let's go ahead and get the hell out of here. Probably went the wrong dang direction, but oh well. Alright. We checked, did we not? We checked. That's wonderful. Can't convince me we didn't check. That's what happened. That's what happened in my third attempt to record the first episode. We checked and made sure that nobody was there and pulled out, and somebody plowed right into us. I'm not going to do this episode over because we've got the first one recorded. That's just part of the game now. But yeah, that's exactly what prompted me to do a fourth take on the first episode. So things like that, just it's kind of weird as far as the programming goes, because we checked and there was nobody there. At least not that I've seen. But anyway, off we go. And of course I got fined for that, but you know, I can't really. We'll just hope here that our Jake brake keeps us on the true here. Would have been nice if it had worked the first time. Alright, so we are getting ready to head back up the hill, looks like. Get the fuck in gear, thank you. Now typically you would not want to cross over the double yellow on a turn like that, but I was busy messing with the gear, or messing with the transmission. Typically that's not exactly a good idea. Get in there, thank you. Why my shift pattern does not like to play ball. Well, that's nice. Oh, that's why. Had my foot on the gas. Couldn't get my Jake brake to kick on, and about the time I took my foot off the throttle completely, it kicked on. I was like, oh, that's why. God, I thought I was rolling back there for a second, but he was going. Something I don't particularly care to do is roll back like that. Nope, we are not stopping. We were moving too fast to stop already at that point. We're just kind of coasting down the hill here. We'll make some speed going through these hills, but this is not particularly the most idyllic route that I would take. I'd try to stay on the highway for the most part, but I can understand that the shortest route would be through here. It's just not the route that I would take. I'd probably make it a little longer. Get back on the interstate as best I could. Okay, people, come on. That's about ridiculous. Screaming up to a turn, and then they gotta slam on their brakes. And they can never get moving afterwards. We're doing 50 and they're maintaining their distance. Hole in the rock. Can't say I've ever been there. Can't say I've ever been there, but that would probably be a nice little place to go. A big damn lizard. That was a big lizard. I'm gonna go around this guy here in a second. See if I can manage. Nope. Not gonna be able to get around this guy for some dang reason. Apparently we have to do 30 mile an hour again. Moab. We're still in New Mexico. No, we're not in New Mexico either. Okay. And we are in Utah. And I have been through Moab once. I think solidly once. So I really can't say that I remember it too well, but I have been through it one time. And I'll tell you what, if I ever get the chance and things just tend to work out in my favor, which I doubt they ever will, I'm most definitely going to be traveling a lot more. Like, I want to get out and just like this. I want to get out and just drive around. I've told my mother several times if I could, I would buy a RV and I just drive around the country. I almost never come home. I just enjoy traveling. To me, it's peaceful to drive like this. Well, I wonder if we're going to get out of the 45 mile an hour zone anytime soon. There we go. Now we're going to get somewhere, but I'll be willing to bet that we're going to be stuck doing about 30 mile an hour, 40 mile an hour up this hill. made it to 65 yet. Looks like we got a rolling roadblock here. Yeah, that figures. God damn it. Got one sign 30 feet from the dam. Get fuck in gear. God damn. Oh, mercy. Well, good news is now we're just about back on the highway. Go ahead and leave it 5 low for right now. You do not have the right of way. Get out there. Don't stop on the on-ramp. Jesus. $80 mph. I wonder if we can actually do that in this truck. I don't think we're going to get the choice, though. Or get the chance. I think we got to turn off the main freeway here before too long. I don't think we're going to get the chance to see what this thing will top out at. But that's no big deal. It doesn't seem like it matters whether I've got my engine braking high or low. It just seems to do the same thing every time. On a little bit more speed and I'll swap it into 8 low. Go. Then we might hit our... We're not going to hit our top speed, but we'll at least hit where we can put the cruise control and carry on. This is like a very lonely drive out here. It really is. There's not a whole lot to see. I mean, a lot of beautiful country compared to where I'm from, but get in there. Good Lord. I got that about backwards. I don't know, they don't. How about that? We're on our way back up to speed. Price discovered. Where are we going to have to slow down here? I don't think I've ever been to Price. In fact, I'm pretty sure I haven't. We are on our way to Salt Lake, and I've been there a few times. Never really a fun time up there because it was always... Every time I go through Salt Lake, it was road construction. Just road construction for days. You're doing 45 down I-70 because it's 3 lanes of blocked off. And it was a nightmare to try and get any kind of respectable speed going. Of course, about the time you get out of the road construction, it's fucking green flag racing, and you can't move over to save your life. You know, it wasn't all bad. I was able to get in and out without an issue. It was always a pain in the ass trying to maneuver around. Got 170 miles to go. This is due 8 o'clock tonight, so hopefully we get there on time. It's gonna suck if we don't. We've got about 3 hours thereabouts left to go. I think we can make it. Let's see what we end up doing here. I haven't seen a vehicle in front of or behind us for a while. I can understand why it's 55 through here. Of course, right as I set my cruise control. Slower traffic, keep right. Yep, that's usually how I go. And we'll just camp out here for a minute at 60 mile an hour. Good to turn my 4-ways off. Why are we all just sitting here? That's why. Because they just had that light turn green, of course. So are we going to get to go anytime today, or are they just going to all go? Seems like every load that I take, there's some sort of blockage on the highway. Why are we sitting here waiting? Thank you. Get in gear. Turn my Jake brake back off. Back up to speed just in time to hit the brakes again. Frickin' moron. Get in gear, damn it. We're gonna have to turn up here. Oops. Took that one a little tight. Oh well. We're not gonna miss a few blades of grass. Provo, Utah. Heard about it, never been. That was very little lead up, wasn't it? So we are back on the highway for however long we can justify it. Got another 100 miles to go and about 2 hours to get there, and that's about how long it's going to take. Yeah, these sound walls are pretty cool. I like the design on them. In real life, the sound walls that they have through Salt Lake are pretty cool too. And we're not in Salt Lake, but you know, just in general. We might actually make it up to 70 miles an hour this time. Road's not exactly smooth. I can feel my steering wheel pulling one way, then the other. It's just it's almost like it's a heartbeat. It's just pulsing right in time with the way the cab's bouncing around. Pretty cool how they can model that kind of stuff now. See, when I first started doing driving simulations, I started out on a keyboard and moved up to a racing wheel when I was maybe 10 or 12, 13, something like that. And back then, the wheels that they had, and this was back right at the new millennium, right around the 2000, you know, between 98 and 2005, and the wheels that they had back then didn't have motors in them. Am I taking this exit? No. Good to know. I've got a guy right the hell next to me. Doing everything he can to just camp out there. yeah, they had no kind of haptic feedback. They didn't have any resistance motors, nothing like that. It was all just a spring in the wheel and a couple of buttons. And that was it. That was all there was to it. Now you get stuff that's almost perfectly lifelike. Yeah, we're just gonna lug it in 5 low for right now. Alright. Come on, old girl. Get a move on. I guess I started out in second. I thought I was in low. Oh well. Guess that's why it took so long to get moving. Ogden, we are here. Now the question is, where do we need to turn? Ogden, Utah is a place that I would like to visit, specifically because I'm a railroad enthusiast, and a lot of the Union Pacific heritage locomotives are in and around Ogden. Oh, I can keep going here. But yeah, I don't know why this thing likes to stop on a dime. I really don't. But yeah, I would love to visit Ogden and see the rail yards and see the locomotives that they've got there and all that good stuff. 'Cause I grew up on railroad enthusiasm. Gotta stop anyway. Will you please go into gear? Thank you. So this is a place that I would like to visit. Probably never will get the chance, but you never know. Let's actually be in low. Thank you. I wonder if we're going to get a green light anytime soon. Go. Thank you. Jesus. Yeah, I don't know what it is about position 6 on my shifter. It just does not seem to want to go into gear at all. Yep. Hey, how about that? We're right next to a train station. How appropriate. Yeah, we're right next to the train station. they're just gonna creep over these tracks, because one thing you really don't want to do is shift while you're over the while any part of your vehicle is over the rails. It could mess up your shift. I've seen a lot of people do it. I've done it a time or two, just not really out of habit, but kind of accidentally. And thankfully it didn't cause any problems then, but it can, and more often than not does. So once again, we don't see anybody. Watch us get T-boned. Alright, so where is this place? Still up here a little bit. I see the icon. Uh-huh. So we found a new Kenworth dealership. Where'd it go? Oh, we're right next to it. There we go. Oh, where do we need it? Back there. How lovely. Okay. So, let's see if we can't make it back there. Question is, how do we get back there? And the question is, how do we get back there? And where exactly is back there? We're going to go over here for a minute. If it turns out to not be throughway, yep, that's okay. That's alright, I think I know how we can make this happen. We just got to make our way around here. There we go. Hopefully we don't hit anything. I don't think we will. There we go. Alright. Let's see if we can't make this a perfect backing maneuver once more. Alright, so like I did in my last episode, we're going to go ahead and get out and look, see where we need to be. And it looks like I need to turn my wheels the other direction, as a matter of fact. Just hard over. And we can go ahead and back in just about like that. Let's see what that'll get us. Whoop. Helps if I go the right direction. I stalled it. Alright, so that should have turned us a little ways. Yeah. See, we've got to be mindful of this trash dumpster right here. So we're probably not anywhere near lined up with it yet, but we will be lined up with it when we get done. Now, had we needed to park there, it would have been fine, but we didn't. Now we got to walk it over. And in order to do that, we've got to use our available space. So we go ahead and do what we can. Just walk it over. And we're actually going to turn this from a blind side back to a sight side back, which is not too big of a deal. It's not exactly what I wanted to do, but we're running with very limited room here. Oop. pull my steering wheel off my desk. I did. It's all right. All right, so what we're doing is we're just moving it over little bits at a time. I'm going to pause here for a second. Push my wheel back up on the desk. Yeah, I've got a plank of wood that I'm using to keep this thing somewhat stable on my desk, because I've got a curved edge on my desk and it doesn't like to play nice with this wheel. All right, so let's go ahead and look, see how far back we can go. We got a few feet, so let's go ahead. We're there. Just about there. Quit growling at me, steering wheel. Yeah, okay. So so much for a perfect back like what we had in the last episode. That's all right. Not that big of a deal. We'll make it right one way or another. I'm probably completely screwing this up again, but that's not a big deal. Alright, so we're in the hole now. We're just going to move our truck, our tractor, in little tiny increments until we are straightened up. And we should be good. Or nearly good. So what we're going to do is we're going to come all the way back out. Here we go. We're going to back it up again. Because this time, we'll be able to get this thing straight. Probably one more pull up, but there's no harm in that. There we go. May take a little longer sometimes, but it's always worth the extra effort. It's going to turn green. There we go. All right. So let's see. Yay, 17. All right. So since we are right here at the Kenworth dealership, let's go in and take a look and see what they've got for their trucks. That's actually the one that I'm looking at getting, the K100E. I'm just going to take a look and see what all they've got. Looks like we've unlocked a few more. Past a certain year, I'm really not too keen on their trucks, on Kenworths. but from what I've heard, they're pretty good. But yeah, I'm going to be looking at the 100E right here for the next truck, and that's going to be probably our go-to for quite a while. Right now, let's just see what we can get for body and all that. So the VIT I kind of like. I like the length on the cab, and I've always been kind of impartial to the flatter roof. But we could also do the Aerodyne or the Aerodyne VT, which is just a dual bunk, and I really don't think we need a dual bunk. So I don't see any reason for that. Prime mover, that's a good setup to have. And then let's see, 600 horse. That'll give us plenty of power. The heavier cargo that we can get, the better. 13 speed, 18 speed. You know, all three of these, it really doesn't matter which one we go with, but I'm going to go with a 10 speed in here ultimately. And then this is what the interior is going to look like. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, I could just imagine with that, you know, with that Peterbilt mod, I could just imagine some guy driving down the road 60 mile an hour, look, you know, holding on to the shaft, trying to turn this rig like that. So yeah, this is what we're looking at for the interior, and in all honesty, I kind of like it. I kind of think that's going to be a good truck to have here for our next one. We're not going to do too much looking at the options here, but yeah, that's basically what we're going to be getting. So let's go ahead and back out of that. Back out of that. And we're going to go back into truck upgrades. No, we don't need to do that. Let's just go up to the front of the lot here and see what we can get for this truck to make it just that touch better. Now, admittedly, while not the current year, I have driven the Pete that is I have driven Peterbilts before, and I think that's a Peterbilt. Kind of looks like a Kenworth to me, though, with that side thingy in it. Yep, that's a Kenworth. Okay. All right, so let's see. Truck configurator. Let's see if we don't have anything there. Nothing there. Let's see. 400 horsepower. Hey. That'll be okay. We could put the little bit heavier motor in it. A little bit stronger. See, my ultimate goal is to get this just as strong, as just powerful as we can. And we've unlocked all the transmissions. Now, if anybody could tell me what the difference is between a transmission that has a retarder and one that doesn't, you know, I'd be glad to hear about that. I'd be glad to know. We've got some new stuff unlocked apparently. There's nothing really there that I want. Nothing there. Got that. Got that. What's this? Modern Chrome. Okay. Only does that on one side. Why does it only do it on one side? That's weird. Huh. Well, I wonder what the hell that is. Well, it's supposed to be an air filter. See if it changes it on that side now. Nope. Okay. Well, we'll stay with what we've got. So I don't know what the heck that is, but it did change once upon a time. So I think all this is all the ones we got that are flashing at us are all the same as what we had before. So we really don't have anything new except for the engine. Now, another 50 horse is not going to hurt us. In fact, the only thing it'll do is help us. So there we go. And we got to repair the damage from the jackass that hit us. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And they want 110,000 for a complete restoration. That's going to put us in the hole for what we want to do. So we're not going to do that. That's 2% of wear and tear. They want 110 grand for that. Yeah, I don't understand that at all. And with that, I think we're going to call this an episode. So, if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It always helps. And if you're a professional driver, leave your stories down in the comments below on these episodes. I'd love to hear them. Horror stories, success stories, complaints and grievances about being on the road. You know, I enjoy hearing all of it. It's always something that is fun to listen to. Maybe people can get a better idea of you know, what you guys go through out there on the road. I mean, I get it, I understand it because I was there, but a lot of people, they don't. They don't get it. They don't understand, and maybe some of your stories need to be aired out, you know. Maybe people need to hear them. So leave them in the comments below. Uh, for subscribing, there's two ways to do this now. You can subscribe to the channel, show your love for the channel. Subscribe, you'll get all the latest videos. Um, when they air, you'll get them the same day as I post them. Or you can subscribe along and or you can subscribe to Patreon. That's live now, and you can see the address there on the screen somewhere, and you'll find it down in the description. For starting at just $3 a month, you guys can get access to all the uncut videos that I record for these episodes. So every episode that you see, every video that you see up here on YouTube, I am giving you those uncut over on Patreon. So you'll get more context to what I'm doing. You'll get to see screw ups. You'll get to hear more commentary. You know, things of that nature. There's also a Patreon exclusive Discord chat that you'll be given access to, and depending on your supporter level, you can participate in the chats on the Discord exclusive live streams that I'll be doing, or even play in the multiplayer streams that I do for Discord and on Kick and here on YouTube when I get them started. So feel free to like, comment, subscribe to Patreon and to YouTube. It all helps out. If you want to see the channel grow, send me a few bucks, and every dollar that's sent my way is going to go toward upgrading my setup, you know, buying a better desk, things like that. And every bit helps. So with that, I want to say thank you again, and I will see you in the next one.